Hey.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so I'd like you to imagine that you're in a traffic accident and the other motorist flees the scene because they're undocumented. So you are left footing the bill. Would this situation have turned out differently if they'd been allowed to have a driver's license? Through research into this issue, I have discovered that certain jurisdictions in the United States already allow undocumented or illegal immigrants to have driver's licenses. Illegal immigration is a hot button issue, but today we're going to discuss this specific aspect of it. Undocumented people live in every state in the United States, and you undoubtedly share the roadway with them every day. I'm going to describe how allowing illegal immigrants access to driver's licenses increases the safety of all motorists. By looking into jurisdictions that already allow this to happen, we can see how access to driver's licenses actually benefits everybody. Granting driver's licenses to illegal immigrants improves the safety of all motorists. According to the AAA Foundation, unlicensed drivers are 5 times more likely to be involved in a fatal accident. They also state that providing access to driver's licenses makes it less likely that an illegal motorist will flee the scene. So how is granting driver's licenses to undocumented workers played out in America already? We already know the effects because of some states. According to the National Academies of Sciences, by 2018, 12 states, Puerto Rico, and the District of Columbia already allow access to driver's licenses to illegal immigrants. According to the Los Angeles Times, California has already issued over 1 million driver's licenses to illegal immigrants since the program started. California has since experienced a 7% drop in hit-and-run accidents, which equals to be about 4,300 per year. California motorists also experienced a reduction in out-of-pocket costs due to accidents of over $3.5 million in the year 2015 alone. One thing that concerns people who are unfamiliar with this issue is whether or not allowing access to driver's licenses to illegal immigrants actually gives them the rights to citizens' rights that are reserved for them. Would illegal immigrants be allowed to vote? Well, the answer is no. To alleviate this fear, states vary the appearance and the color of said licenses, according to the National Academy of Sciences. As you can see, this is a regular California license, and this is one for an illegal immigrant, and it says right on here that it does not allow federal restrictions for voting and so forth, or it does allow that. In Maryland, you can see it says it's not acceptable form of identification for federal purposes. So furthermore, in the book Immigration Wars by Governor Jeb Bush, we learned that in 2005, Congress passed legislation that demanded proof of immigration status on illegal immigrants' licenses, and that they also be tamper resistant. Once again, according to the Los Angeles Times, California state has stated right on the card that this license does not guarantee any sort of benefits to voting, public services, or access to employment. So what would be the consequences of allowing licenses? According to an article by Ken Johnson in the Nevada Journal, the consequences for motorists would be they'd be required to pass driver's tests, they would be required to know and understand regulations for traffic, they'd be required to properly register their vehicle with the appropriate state agency, they would also be much more likely to obtain auto insurance, with the added benefit of reducing costs to all motorists, they'd be less likely to flee from accidents, and proper identification would also help law enforcement with more accurate records. How would this benefit the community and the economy? According to K.W. Kobach of the Georgetown Law Review, having accurate records of who is living where, as opposed to the invisible presence that illegal immigrants currently provide, will help ensure a better distribution of resources. Construction of roadways, jails, and public structures would actually occur where they needed to be, based on actual community population numbers. Additionally, revenue would help boost the economy. States would get income from issuing these licenses. The auto industry and the insurance industry would also benefit. According to the LA Times, California had to hire more than 1,000 more workers to staff their DMVs and also extend operating hours in all the branches. Now that you can see how offering access to driver's licenses to illegal immigrants actually helps and not hinders the community, my hope is that if you're ever faced with a referendum on a ballot or have to vote on this issue, you actually vote for allowing illegal immigrants to access licenses, regardless of your personal feelings on if they should be here or not. So, I remind you to consider the possibility that your loved one may one day be faced with an accident, and do you really want the other person to not have a license? And that's it.